Hello, good morning. Welcome to Monza in Italy. In the heart of one of Italy's most historic royal parks is the Autodromo Nazionale di Monza. This is the cathedral at which the Italians come to worship their second religion, Ferrari. Of course, in a Catholic country, even Sundays aren't sacrosanct when the tifosi come motor racing. And we are ready for the start of our weekend's action here from the Formula 2 Championship, with the winner of the last race, Julian Palmer, sitting on pole position, the man who lies in third place in the championship. After a fairly fevered qualifying session, he ended up just 74 thousandths of a second ahead of Denmark's Johan Jokinen. And 21 cars will line up on the grid this morning, including at the very back of the field, young Russian Sergei Afnasiev, who collapsed with a combination of accident-related stress and heat stroke yesterday, I think, after free practice when he had a shunt at the end of it. Didn't qualify, but he has been allowed into the field nonetheless, and he seems to be fine this morning. I'm Martin Haven, alongside me, Formula 2 test driver and single-seater race veteran Stephen Kane. And Stephen, this is well, apart from the history of the place, actually a great place to come and have motor racing, because it's a track that really lends itself to high-speed racing.
Yeah, it's. I think all the drivers are looking forward to this weekend. It's probably one of the best races in the calendar that we have, and you know, coming here with all the history it has and the long straights, it provides probably the best racing that you'll see all year in terms of slipstreaming and passing, and hopefully no accidents. But you know, it's going to be hopefully a great race.
Well, Philippe Eng currently leads the drivers' standings, just 10 points ahead of Dean Stoneman. Stoneman had a bit of a soft engine yesterday in qualifying, was down on top-end speed, not that well up on the grid in 8th position, but feeling a little happier after the unit was changed overnight. So he's raring to go, as are all of them. Whether they've been here or not before, you just can't escape the history of this place. There is something very special about coming to Monza. We'll be back with the start of the race in just a moment. Stay with us. Cars on the grid on the way to the start of the first race of the weekend here at Monza, in beautiful summer sunshine. Temperature already touching 30 degrees air temperature, and that means the track temperature will be getting up close to 40 degrees. It's been clear overnight, a bright sunny morning, and there is our pole man, young Austrian Philippe Eng, one of the second-year drivers in this championship, Stephen Kane. And coming back to the cars for the second year gives him all sorts of advantages over the rookies, guys like Will Bratt, who haven't got experience of the car, the setup and all of that. And Eng is certainly using that to his advantage. He is the current championship leader, and he looks like he's got a really solid run started already.
Yeah, from starting at the start of the year, he was championship favourite, really, you know, with his year's experience. And, you know, we've seen last year that he had flashes of speed and maybe a bit of bad luck in all in last year, and you know, you can see now that he's took the championship lead. He's full of confidence. He's a little bit dismayed in where he's qualified yesterday, but you know, we'll you know, it's a good place to race, so we'll maybe see him up there.
Well, exactly. Talking a little while ago, you can remember back to the last time British Formula 3 raced here, and Sergio Perez won both races from 14th on the grid in both races after a terrible time in qualifying, just because of the slipstreaming effect here. And unless somebody can really escape out front by, well, a clear 2 seconds, the straights here are so long that it is almost impossible to get away. It used to be the tenet that if you came out of Ascari in the lead of a group of cars on the last lap, you knew you were not going to win the race, because all the guys behind are coming up so much faster, and I think we're going to see a lot of that with these cars.
Yeah, I raced here last in 2005, and obviously I tested the car yesterday, and you know, there's a little few changes in the circuit in terms of the first corner. It's been resurfaced. There's F1 curbs on it now, which are quite violent and big. So there's less room for mistakes. Before, when we were here, if you made a mistake and you outbraked yourself, you could have crossed the whole curb with the car, and you would have caught and kept up with the pack. But now there is a chance of a breakaway pack, and if they get away, that's going to become a problem. But yes, you can come from the back. When I raced here, we were using Honda engines at the time, and the Mercedes was quite strong. But we came from probably 12th and the 13th in the grid, I think it was, and I was up to second. 2 laps to go, and it was a great weekend, and it's great that you know that you're in with the fight. No matter where you qualify, you can still get to the front and win points or win a race. So everyone's pumped up for it, and hopefully everyone gets through the first corner safely.
Well, we just saw Ricardo Teixeira, or Ricardo Air as his colleagues in the paddock nicknamed him after the second race in Marrakesh, where he went aviating in a frankly violently scary looking manner, but came down safely. Any landing where you come down on the wheels is safe, particularly in a single seater, and he lines up in 6th position. In front of him, Nicola De Marco, and then Kasim Vasiliauskas, the Lithuanian driver, 4th place in qualifying, and he was looking very cool and relaxed this morning. Again, second-year driver in these cars, so really looking at winning this championship. Nobody wants to leave here after a second season. Go hard or go home. That is the motto there for Mihai Marinescu, the Romanian driver, 3rd on the grid. That's his best grid position in the F2 campaign so far. Came out of the 2-litre Formula Renault Euro Cup after a couple of seasons there. Steve, an interesting story about how he ended up in motor racing, and it's all down to this place, to Monza.
Yeah, he's came here with his father and watched a few races, and it's all started here, the love story. So it always starts somewhere for us all, and it's great that he's come here in the past, and now he's back here racing, and obviously he's doing a very good job to qualify 3rd in the grid. He's upped his game for this weekend. He's obviously feels like he knows the place, and it feels like home for him, so it's great to see him up there.
Well, our Danish driver on the outside of the front row of the grid, Johan Jokinen, very quick in pre-season testing, slightly disappointed at Silverstone, equally disappointed again at Marrakesh. Now for the first time, and maybe it's more a factor of that he knows this track, or that he's now familiar with the cars, but he now seems to be producing the pace that we expected to see from him. And Jolyon Palmer, who was on the front row at Silverstone, is on pole position here at Monza again. So Jolyon looking to put himself back in command of this championship.